Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. And we are so thrilled to be offering one of the first of its kind digital, virtual, and continuous learning environments, enabling parents and children to connect from all around the world. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have discussions and to create space for all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan: support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. For those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Sunday. We actually just dropped a thought piece this past Sunday, so be sure to meander over to our website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you are looking for a listening alternative, well, we're available wherever podcasts are playing, and we have provided you with access to a few links down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. And of course, if you like these conversations and you want to keep them going, like, comment, and share this segment. Let's get into it. Allô les meufs et les mecs. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today's topic of discussion is mental health. And on the topic of mental health, I'm going to give you some strategies that I leverage when it is the case that I'm feeling anxious, when I'm feeling unnerved, right? And sometimes this is an intuitive thing. It's just something I can wake up and feel like my nerves are shot, like I just feel so anxious and I have all of these anxious thoughts, and it can be really debilitating. It can be something that can really hinder my ability to be productive and to be effective with the time that I spend in my day. So here are some strategies that I have leveraged even as recently as today to enable me to move past the anxiety and stay present, stay aligned, recognizing that all things work together, for the good of those who seek it, and also that at the end of the day, it is what it is, and whatever comes my way, I'll be able to handle. So all of that being said, when it is the case that I'm feeling highly anxious, which isn't frequently, but if I have these moments where I'm really having to do a lot of mental work, I'm really having to flex a lot of mental muscles to keep my thoughts in a specific direction, to focalize my thoughts on what I know I need to focus on during the day, and I want to make sure that my thoughts are helping me and not hindering me and keeping me in alignment to my higher self and not putting me in a negative headspace, because those are never fun, and I don't have a high threshold for negativity. I prefer to preserve my happiness as much as possible. And some of the ways and the countermeasures that I have with my own anxiety. So one of the first things that I love to do when it is the case that I'm feeling anxious is music. Music is a great way to just let yourself be present and in the moment and enjoy that moment rather than ruminating on what could potentially happen. Like, I find that I get carried away in music, and I used to think when I was younger that I would tattoo a tattoo on my foot called "Music is my soul sister." Get it? The double entendre. Okay, that's probably not as funny as I think it is, but music really does shift and change my mood so quickly. It can really put me in a very calm place if it is the case that I find that I'm spiraling a little bit in my thoughts. So if I do find that the mental exercises that I do, if I do meditation and mantras, and they're not really helping me with my anxious thoughts, they're keeping them at bay, I'm still able to push forward, but I don't feel better necessarily, then I find music is a great way to just set my mind elsewhere. It just puts me in a completely different state, which is why I'm very mindful of the kind of music that I listen to. Like, I'm all about the feel-good vibes music. I don't listen to music that makes me angry. I don't listen to music that makes me feel hostile. And I think I did a video on being very mindful of even the lyrics in your music. So when I pick music to help me calibrate and to help me feel grounded and level-headed, I really select the music based on like what the words are saying as well as the melody. Because sometimes the melody can be really great, but then you're like meditating on words that are actually quite destructive. And I think that all of us have many hats that we're wearing that can create a certain degree of stress. So we just want to be mindful of the ways and that we're coping with that stress without internalizing messaging that is like just not going to serve us in the long run. So music is definitely the first way that I cope with feeling very anxious. It really does help me come back to center. And the second one, I mentioned it briefly, is mantras and meditation. And I have a few mantras that I cycle through that are very, very helpful. And if it is the case that I find that I'm constantly having to repivot my thoughts back to where I know that they're productive and they're effective, then I will take a timeout. I will put myself in a timeout for about 20-25 minutes. And I will meditate on words, on mantras that make me feel grounded, that help me to recognize that I am not in control regardless of the situation. So sometimes when everything's kind of going the way we want, we give ourselves sort of this pat on the back that we've done that and we have it. But when things are not going the way we want, or when we're not sure what the future holds and there's just a lot of uncertainty and a lot of ambiguity, we allow ourselves to feel like we need to control this. But we don't have control over the setting, over the environment. And we allow ourselves to think that we do have that control when the environment and the setting isn't hostile towards us or isn't filled with the unknown. So I like to make sure that I bring myself back to the place of calm, of peace and contentment that we feel when we're in our comfort zone, even in those places of ambiguity and uncertainty. And I do that through meditation and through mantras. And I love to reflect and really focus my attention on who I am and how I've shown up for myself in the past and how I'll continue to show up for myself that way moving forward. So I've established enough of a track record that I can rely on my past experiences to feel confident that I can handle whatever is coming to me in the future. That's the second one, mantras and meditation. And now the third one is having someone that you can talk to. And this one I don't use a lot. I only use it when I feel like there is someone in my circle who cares that I'm feeling anxious and who wants to kind of help relieve that load. But it's really nice to feel anxious and to be able to just pick up your phone and message someone, hey, like I'm having these thoughts, and be a little tongue-in-cheek about it. Like I'm never like, you know, doom and gloom about the things that worry me. I like to kind of be funny about it and be light about it, but it really feels good to be able to like reach out to someone and let them know, and then to have them help you settle down, right? Or even sometimes it's just reaching out and making a joke out of it and making light out of it, just like releasing that energy. It feels good. So I find that like if it is the case that I am not able to use my strategies to self-orient around my anxiety, then it's really, really nice to have that one person that you can reach out to who cares and who's definitely going to be an open ear and listen to what it is that's concerning you and like be a sounding board and help you to kind of come back to center. Another really great way that I love to help myself recenter when it comes to feeling anxious is organizing. And this seems really weird, but if I'm feeling anxious and I take a look at my environment, there's something in my environment that is probably like subversively creating anxiety. And when things are kind of all over the place, there's no real order to the way things have been set up. Like it prickles at the back of my mind and I can let it go. But if I'm feeling anxious, and that's the first thing, if I clear that away, I immediately feel soothed and relieved by that. So organizing your space, making sure that your space is clean, that it feels good, that it feels comfortable is a really easy way of making sure that that anxiety level comes right down. And lastly, and this is the easiest one, is exercise. Exercise is a great way of dealing with the energy that is anxiety and making sure it leaves your body. It'll be the first thing to go, as is my experience, and pumping yourself up with endorphins, with feel-good emotions that are gonna help you push through and get to the solutions that you're looking for that brings you back to a steady state. So for me, exercise, strength training, there's nothing like a good strength training that helps alleviate anxiety. And of course, yoga. Yin yoga is definitely what I go to. It is one of my go-tos, or even vinyasa or ashtanga yoga, are all forms of yoga really about releasing energy and the energy that doesn't serve me and just grounding and setting centering myself, because a lot of the times when you're feeling anxious, you're just kind of up in the air spiraling. When you feel grounded, then you feel capable. And when you're feeling capable, no anxious thought can bring you down or deter you. So in any case, those were the 5 that I wanted to bring to your attention, the 5 ways that I manage and cope with anxiety and do it effectively, by the way, right? So if you take the time that you need to help soothe yourself, to help be there for yourself when it is the case that you need to comfort yourself in these times and in these periods, like, do it. And there's nothing wrong with comforting yourself and with developing healthy mechanisms and healthy coping strategies for when it is the case that you're having those highly anxious thoughts. So that was the feedback that I had for you today, hopefully helpful to you. Now, before letting you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that we will be going live at least twice a month, every month for the foreseeable future on our Facebook page. So definitely be sure to tune in. Now, these events are paid events. So if you do see yourself participating in our community on an ongoing basis, and I do suggest that you take a look at one of our package plans. Yes, so we do offer package plans over and above our live events, as well as access to webinars and workshops, largely focused on self-mastery over and above those events. So check it out, be part of our game changer community, being part of the change that you want to see, allowing us a small role to play in your journey. We are on the road to 1K, so we do invite you to follow us across all of our social media platforms, and we look forward to chatting with all of you very soon. We'll talk to you